buhay o kabiguan, ng ligaya o lungkot. Kaya marapat lamang na tanggapin si Jesus bilang tagapagligtas at Panginoon. At matapos yun ay panariwain ang katapatan at paglapit sa Kanya bawat araw o day by day. Ang day by day ay naglalayong umalalay sa pang-araw-araw na pamumuhay. Narito po si Kuya Ed Lapis sa mensaheng pinamagatang Respect Work.
Respect work. Work is God's gift to people. It is not a punishment. Non-work is the punishment. Kaya nga yung mga nakukulong sa mahahabang panahon, pati sa loob ng bote gumagawa ng barko. Kasi mahirap, walang magawa. Malaking parusa na walang ipagawa sa'yo. Ang paggawa is ang pribilehyo. Work is a godly means to earn a living. From the Bible, Proverbs 12:11, those who work their land will have abundant food. Work is the way to abundance. Proverbs 14:23 says, all hard work brings a profit. So hard work is the way to gain. Work could give us a great sense of meaning, usefulness, belongingness, and even growth. Also, work can give us wonderful entertainment and recreation. Non-work freezes us and is a heavy punishment. It is wonderful to respect God, but to respect God, we must also respect God's gift. And one of them is work. So our topic is respect work. Hindi naman po ako ngayon na bibigay sa inyo ng mga bagay na bago pa. Kasi alam nyo na ang mga ito. Pero sabi ng matatanda, ang paalala'y gamot sa taong nakalilimot. So konting paalala lang sa isa't isa sa atin. 5 elements of work worthy of respect. There are many, but let us just focus on 5 for now. Respect work time. Ecclesiastes 3:1, there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under heaven. God, who is God of order, had ordained that there's going to be a proper time for every proper activity under heaven. There is time to work. And for many of us who are privileged to be full-time workers, that's 1/3 of our lives. 8 hours would be 1/3 of every day. And some work beyond 8 hours. So that's at least 1/3 of your life spent at the workplace doing work. There is time to work. So defer to the work clock. Treat work time as bought and paid for time. Ang oras ng isang manggagawa ay hindi kanya. Ang oras ng mga lingkod ng bayan ay hindi kanila. Ito ay binabayaran ng mga taxpayers. So our people, our citizens, own our work time, and we owe it to them to respect that timetable. It is not it's not for our personal indulgence. It's not for personal communication. Definitely, ang work time, hindi pang Facebook. Hindi pang Candy Crush. Kasi hindi atin ang oras sa loob ng trabaho. It is not for our personal business and pleasure. So it is important to really respect it. Marami po ako naobserbahan nung araw, sana hindi na yun nangyayari sa ilang government institutions, kahit minsan sa private. Kandara pa yung mga empleyado sa umaga pag bandy clock. Talagang parang mga karerista, ang bibilis. Tumataloon, mga hagdan. Pero pagka time clock, biglang bumabagal na yung lakad. Pagka bandy clock. Talagang biglang huminhin uli yung kanina, talagang karerang babae. Tapos dadaan sa banyo, mag-aayos. Ang tagal-tagal doon, dahil naka-bandy clock na. Pero nagsimula na siyang bayaran. Kaya napakahalaga yung ganong klaseng accountability. That it is not for our personal business. Exodus 20:15, you shall not steal. And paid for time used for personal indulgence is stolen time. So do not steal paid time. Paalala lang ay gamot sa maaaring matuksong makalimot that our time at the office is not ours. So begin work on time and end on time. Meet deadlines. Sabi nila, the strength of a chain is determined by its weakest link. So the strength of a team, the strength of teamwork, the strength of output is determined by the weakest team worker. That the delay caused by one person could actually delay the entire institution. So end on time for the sake of your coworkers, for the sake of yourself, and for the sake of our people. That we do not bring work and business to breaks. Meron po mga coffee break di ba? Yung mga lunch break. Try not to discuss business during coffee break. Try not to extend your working hours during the coffee break because it's supposed to refresh you. It is supposed to give you rest from the toil of work so that you might gain perspective. So that when you return to the workplace, you are refreshed. You look at it from a refreshed point of view. So try not to discuss office work while having coffee break. And very especially, try not to gossip during coffee break. Because it will make the time negative. It will affect your work. So refresh yourself. You owe it to yourself and to your fellow workers. Respect the workplace, which is very, very, very much twinned with time and place. Keep the office as official workplace, sacred and dedicated to corporate interests. It is not an extension of one's house. Kung minsan may mga empleyado, yun talaga yung buong family photo niya, nasa mesa na, mga litrato ng mga lola, ng mga pets, wala nang lugar para magtrabaho. It's not an extension of our house, and it's not an extension to do personal business. We are not to do personal business in work premises. It is considered sacred space, dedicated totally to corporate goals. Psalm 74:17, it was you, O God, who set all the boundaries of the earth. May boundaries talaga. Natatandaan ko ang lola ko nung araw, lagi niya sinasabi sa amin, lumagay kayo sa lugar. Dapat kung ano yung lugar, kung ano yung oras, tama ang kilos, bagay sa lugar. So we respect co-workers' space. We avoid hearing or overhearing their conversations with other people. And when there is a chance that you might hear a very private conversation, try to move away. Makikita mo yung mga dissenting tao, pag parang maririnig nila, hindi nila dapat marinig, umaatras. So alam nyo na kung ano yung mga taong hindi nila dapat marinig pero lumalapit. Biglang tumatahimik, talagang nagko-concentrate pa. Move away. It is not for you to know. Avoid seeing and reading what is for their eyes only. Dapat nasa tamang lugar yung mata natin. Minsan nasa hotel ka, nasa corridor ng hotel, may nakabukas na pinto. Are you tempted to look into the room? Yun ang self-discipline because you're not supposed to. You might see things that you should not be seeing. Self-discipline is very important. Keep your eyes where they belong, says an old hula dance. No? You keep your eyes where they belong. And keep your baggage within your boundary. Keep your clutter, even your noise. And there's one more thing. Keep your scent to yourself. Avoid wearing scents at work. Avoid yung mga sobrang mga mababangong inilalagay sa katawan, colognes and perfumes. Yung office ay hindi tamang lugar para kahumalimuyak. Hindi siya ang proper na lugar para ihambalang mo ang iyong alindog. Dapat neutral. You know? Sometimes nadidistract yung mga tao pag amoy mo parang may dumaang jet, gumuguhit ang iyong amoy. It distracts people whether the amoy is positive or negative. At mas distracting pag positive. So try to be corporate even with the way you smell. You don't need to be sensuous at the office. You just have to be professional. So respect co-workers. Temper your groupistness. Siyempre, ang mga tao, tayo lalo mga Filipino, we have a tendency to be very groupist. But temper your allegiance to personal groups. Temper your propensity and tendency to fraternize with people that you really like. In other words, observe decorum and good manners and just communicate with your official group. Hindi mo kailangang pairalin yung personal choice. Kung nasa isang committee, be very professional. You don't have to personally like everybody in the committee, but you are bound by professional duty to cooperate and to work well with everybody. That's when we put our personal preferences at bay. Proverbs 11:13 says, "A gossip betrays a confidence, but a trustworthy man keeps a secret." So as we've already said, avoid one of the worst destroyers of office morale, gossip. Mayroong isang office, nakita ko ang ganda nakalagay, bawal magchismis. Nakalagay talaga sa mga banyo, sa mga corridors, sa mga elevators, bawal magchismis. Malaking makasira kasi ng relasyon niyang chismis. And it is a very wonderful way of going around more quickly than the office memo. Mas mabilis. And the quickest way to spread information in an office is say, "Uy, sa'yo lang to ha." Sigurado kakalat yun agad. So do not needlessly and shut people out of official circles just because you have personal intrigues or personal preferences. Again, we like to say we are not at the office to indulge our personal preferences. Work well with those that you must work well, whether or not you are personally drawn to them. And try to always limit the personal component of inter-office communication. Deal with people fairly and objectively, according to the merits and not personal feelings and relations. Proverbs 1:3 talks about receiving instruction in prudent behavior, doing what is right and just and fair. Temper the tendency to take and treat official things personally. Lalo po tayong mga Pilipino, masyado tayong personal Pine-personal. Pati mga employee assessment sessions na personal. Sumasama loob pag sinabihan siya ng mga ito yung mga dapat mong gawin na personal. But be objective in receiving official criticism. Be objective in receiving assessments and in giving recommendations. Para sa ating mga Pilipino, we're very, very sociable. Mahirap labanan yan. At yan ang challenge sa atin. Kasi dapat fair. Dapat hindi personal. So, stick to rational, official, and objective reasoning. Avoid emotional appeals and avoid emotional decisions. Corporate setups that are governed by policies, stick to the policies and try not to break them because of a personal appeal that you think might not be resisted by those who have to make decisions. Let's always be merits-based. Huwag daanin sa paawa. No? Kailangan deliver. Do what is proper. So respect yourself. Avoid doing and saying things that cheapen you, that erode your dignity. And one of that is saying sorry too often. Yung sorry kasi hindi ako nakadeliver. Sorry kasi late ako. Sorry kasi may mistake ako. Yung ganun mga sorry. No? Well, it is proper to say sorry when you really must, but avoid causing yourself to have to say it. By doing the right thing, by delivering on time and properly, so you don't have to say it. Avoid too many personal pleases. Please, gawin mo yung trabaho ko kasi aalis ako. Yung mga ganong please. Please, lagi nakikiusap. Hindi naman natin kailangan lagi makiusap basta efficient tayo. Hindi natin kailangan lagi mag-sorry kung minimize natin yung mga mali at nagde-deliver tayo ng quality work. And avoid always saying, give to me or forgive me. These are all personality-based and person-based ideas. But if we're very professional, we won't have to say these words. We don't have to say, sorry, I'm late. Never begin a day by saying, sorry, I'm late. You owe it to yourself that the moment you step into a room, the moment you walk into a meeting, your first word must not be sorry. It must be something like, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to show you what I did. I'm glad to report. not sorry, not apologies. Paminsan-minsan kailangan yon kasi hindi naman tayo perfect. Pero pag madalas, something's very wrong. Professional people don't always have to be compelled to say sorry because they deliver. So be correct, be excellent, and be self-sufficient. Always be neat and presentable. Look your best. When people do you wrong, when people are not nice to you, looking good is the best revenge. Tandaan nyo yun, pagka merong nakakainis, look good. Look better. That's your revenge. Not looking bad. Not saying bad words. Not doing bad behavior. But look good. By looking good, by shining, by being a light wherever you are, by brightening up a room just by entering it, you are taking sweet revenge against your detractors, whether or not they are wrong. So always do what is positive. No? When people say you're bad, do good. Disprove them. Don't be worse. Because you would only give them ammunition to fire at you. So, at the office, moderate expression of personal feelings, especially anger and sadness. We affect people around us. Para tayong mga bola sa billiard table, nagbabangga-banggaan tayo, altering the courses that other people take or are supposed to take. So let's be responsible for how people would be affected by our behavior. When you're angry with somebody at the office, don't spread the anger to everybody that shares your lunch table. Don't turn it into a turf war or a tribal war. Keep it to yourself. Don't spread negative feelings. At mag-ingat din kayo sa mga tao na pagkakausap nyo, kanina natutuwa kayo kay person A, nung makausap nyo si B, galit na kayo kay person A. Hindi nyo naman narinig si A, na-influence na kasi. Watch. Kung binabantayan natin yung mga pinto natin, nilalagyan natin ng lock. Kotse natin, nilalock natin, lagyan din ng locking mechanism sa inyong tenga. You have a right to filter what you hear. Don't allow people to poison your mind and involve you in their petty quarrels. Kahit nyo sila kaibigan. Kailangan binabantayan mo, itong taong to, pagka nakausap ko, laging nagagalit ako sa iba. Minsan kasi hindi natin nahalata yun. Minsan kasali ka na sa gera niya, na recruit ka na niya, naging pawn ka na niya sa kanyang cruel chess games without you knowing it. Because people that we have lunch with, people that we have coffee with, could manipulate us into fighting their wars for them. So let's watch what we do and always try to brighten up the mood of everybody else. It is our duty to each other. Your mood, your affection, affect others. So, affect a corporate mood at the office. Professional. No matter what's happening inside our hearts, in our homes, try to be professional the moment you step in to the workplace. Because the output of the entire team might be affected by your mood. And never get drunk, even at parties. Then tomorrow you have to say sorry to people for making a clown of yourself. It's important to always observe proper decorum. Even our behavior outside the office affects what happens at the office. Because space is spaceless. There's really no way to contain what happens in a certain place. It is a way of going around. So keep your family, your romance, and your creditors away from the office. Or away from the office phones and email. Kasi nakakagulo yan. Teach others to respect you. I do not wish to insult your intelligence by telling you what you already know. I said, paalala lang to para hindi tayo nakakalimot. Dahil alam naman natin talaga to eh. And especially sa office, of course, to be dignified, don't go for freebies. Do not be a slave of our desires. Sometimes we get to become interested in something that we don't know we're already sacrificing our dignity. Do not desire what is not yours. Kahit wala kang pera, pagka hindi ka hahabol-habol sa hindi sa'yo, igagalang ka kahit ng mayaman. Basta hindi mo hinahabol yung kanya. Hindi ka nagpapakita ng interes, kahit walang laman ang tiyan mo, igagalang ka kahit ng pinakamayayamang tao pag hindi ka hahabol-habol sa mga barya niya. So it is important to always treat ourselves with caution and not be enslaved by our passions. Do not take careless shortcuts. Do not invite disrespectful treatment with the way you dress, with the way you talk, with the way you behave. How people treat us is actually just a reflection of how we treat ourselves. Minsan may mga nagrereklamo sa akin, bakit po kaya ang dami-daming bumabastos sa akin lagi? Sabi ko, iha, baka naman bastusin ka. Kasi bakit naman kahit matino, binabastos ka pag ikaw nandun? Pero bakit yung iba pag nandun sila, kahit yung lasing tumitino? You inspire people to react to you. So mahalaga that if we like to be respected, we emanate that aura of self-respect. So do not solicit help, business, and patronage from persons under your influence or authority. Do not seek patronage from clients because they will collect from you. Balance is the law of the universe. When you get, you give. When people give, they take. Pinipili natin kung sinong binibigyan, pero lalong pinipili kung sino ang tatanggapan. Because you could be beholden to people who give things to you. Your benefactors can so easily become your masters. So try not to have many benefactors. Try to be as independent as possible. Exodus 23:8, do not accept a bribe, for a bribe blinds those who see and twist the words of the innocent. And in positions that many of us hold, it is so easy to be tempted to take a bribe, especially when our office, our official duties entitle us to dispense favors, to dispense promotions, to dispense loans. It is so easily to be blinded by people who'd like to take from us. But always remember this, they don't just take. Because when they take something from you, or you take something from them, they will also take something from you. Balance. Ecclesiastes 7:7, extortion turns a wise person into a fool, and a bribe corrupts the heart. So respect people and treat others as you would like to be treated. And finally, respect communication lines. Lalo yung mga rank and file. Be polite but not subservient. Kung minsan, yung pagtuturo natin ng po at opo, igalang ang matatanda, nagba-backfire. Sometimes yung sobrang politeness na itinuturo natin sa mga bata, huwag kang sasagot. Yan ang tinuturo matatanda. Lagi ka lang po, opo. Matanda na sila, dala pa yun. Ina-abuse na, kinakawawa na, hindi pa rin sumasagot. Po at opo pa rin. At marami sa mga kababayan natin nagtatrabaho sa ibang bansa, maski rito sa ating bayan, naaabuso ng mga, madalas, mga foreigner. No? Kasi sa kilos natin, parang ina-advertise natin, pwede nyo po akong apihin. Pwede nyo akong kawawain. No? Opo, lagi kailangan magalang ka pero hindi ka subservient. At yan ang laging pinapakiusap ko sa mga magulang. Teach your children to say no to you, but politely. They should not always be made to say yes. Because when you train up a child in the way he should go, sabi sa Bible, when he is old, he will not depart from it. So pag tinrato mo ang bata na wala siyang sariling desisyon, walang sariling paninindigan, oo lang ng oo, hanggang pagtanda, we should be assertive, correctly assertive, politely assertive. And I like to encourage our people, especially those in the lower ranks, so-called, of society, to remember that. You were not born to become somebody's slave. You are entitled to your opinions, but you are not entitled to rudeness. So let's encourage that kind of democratic relationship with one another. Be polite, those who are higher ups, but not patronizing and condescending. Nakumisan yung politeness naman natin, nakakauto na. So mahalaga, ikinagalang mo ang tao. So let's be direct and let's be precise. Be objective, as we have said. I like to always repeat that, not emotional. Yan ang isang dapat nating matutunan eh. Pagka official yung sinasabi sa'yo, hindi yun personal, tanggapin mo. Pag sabi, alam mo, late ka sa pagsasubmit ng report mo, huwag kang mag-iiyak o magdadabog kasi hindi mo to bahay. Hindi mo naman lola yung nagsabi sa'yo, di ba? Office mate mo yon, hindi mo asawang tatampo-tampo ka, nasa office nagtatampo. Ba't nagtatampo to? Nasa job description ba niya magtampo? Pinagsabihan mo, pinagalitan mo, nagtatampo. Ano siya? Pinsan ko. So, importante, professional. Ground your point whenever you talk with one another. Ground your argument on numbers. They are unassailable. Ground your point on improved efficiency and productivity. Not on, pagod na nga ako, hiniwalay na ako ng asawa ko, pumapasok pa ako dito, pinapagalitan mo pa ako. Walang lugar yun sa office. Nandiyan ka para magtrabaho, kaya hiniwalayan ka o hindi. Diba? Kaya may tigdas ang anak mo o wala. Well, we want to be kinder to people who go through difficulty, but your personal difficulties are not excuses for incompetence. Take a leave. If you really cannot handle personal pressures, take a leave, but do not be present in body, but absent in the soul and spirit, and affect everybody else. That's what professionalism requires. Ground your point on benefits that you give to the company, not on your personal emotions, but on the direct benefit that your presence gives to the company. Not on feelings, not on aspirations. Work so well as to have the privilege to ask for promotions when it's backed up by facts. So work is a gift from God. It's not a punishment. Work is a pleasure to enjoy. It is not a problem to solve. Begin your Mondays with that attitude. Begin every morning with that attitude. You are privileged to be at work. What you do, if you were a clerk, if you were an elevator person, if you were somewhere in the rank and file, if you are top management, everything that you do at work affects people out there. Sa husay ninyo, may mga buhay na magbabago to unlad. May mga sikmurang magkakaroon ng pagkain sa loob nito. Sa husay ninyo, mayroong makakatapos mag-aral, may makakapagpagamot ng sakit. Sa husay na ginagawa ninyo, may mga taong mahahango sa hirap. Huwag kayong magsasawang maging mabuti. Because God knows what you're doing. Pero sa ating mga bawat pagpapabaya, sa bawat pagsasabi natin, saka na, bukas na, sa bawat pagde-delay natin at pagsasawalang bahala, may mga gutom na lalong magugutom. May mga mahirap na lalong hihirap pa. Merong mga gipit na lalong magigipit.
Ang katatapos pong mensahe ni Kuya Ed Lapiz ay pinamagatang Respect Work.
Wagas niyong pagtingin, ang iyong pagmamahal, sadyang walang hadlang, wala sa kalagayan at katayuan. Hawak niyo aking kahinaan di magbabago. Pag-ibig mo sa akin laging naririto. Hawak niyo aking kamay sa tuwing nananamlay at sa tuwing magkamali. Walang hanggang pagpapatawad niyo sa'kin. Hawak niyo aking kamay sa tuwing nananamlay at sa tuwing magkamali. Walang hanggang pagpapatawad niyo sa'kin. Walang hanggang pagpapatawad niyo sa'kin.
Dumako po tayo sa mga hiyas ng bayan, mga bagay po na maaari nating kilalanin, pag-aralan, ipagmalaki bilang mga Pilipino, hindi naman para magyabang, kundi para magkaroon po tayo ng mahalagang pagtingin sa ating mga ninuno, sa ating nakaraan at sa ating sarili. Sabi nga po, ang hindi lumingon sa pinanggalingan ay hindi nakararating sa paroroonan. Kaya mahalaga rin naman na atin pong pagbulay-bulayan, pag-aralan, yung mga karunungan ng ating bayan. At ngayon po ang ating hiyas na itatampok ay isang kasabihan. Bakit po hiyas ang kasabihan? Sapagkat bago naman tayo makagawa ng isang kasabihan, kailangan ng napakahabang panahon, ng pag-aaral, ng pagmamatyag, at ng isang sensitibong puso sa mga katotohanan sa daloy ng buhay. Bawat isang kasabihan po ay maaaring isa o maraming buhay na nagtulong-tulong, nagsama-sama upang makita ang mga batas ng buhay, ang mga daloy ng mga katotohanan. Kaya nga po ang isa nating pagbubulay-bulayan ngayon na kasabihan ng ating bayan na hinango po sa koleksyon ng UP Cultural Dictionary for Filipinos ni Thelma Quintanar at mga kasama. Sabi po ng kasabihang ito, ang bayaning masugatan, nag-iibayo ang tapang. Tama nga naman po. At ito po, kung ibabase natin doon sa kanyang pangunahing kahulugan, yun pong literal, ay totoo naman. Sa mga larangan ng digmaan, yung mga bayani, habang nasusugatan, habang tinatamaan at nagdurugo o kaya po ay lumilipad ang mga punglo sa paligid, ay lalong tumatapang. Yun po yung mga bayani, siyempre may mga duwag na pag nasugatan, umaatras naman. Pero ang mga bayani, pag nasusugatan, nag-iibayo pa ang tapang. Subalit higit po dito sa pangunahing kahulugan nito na yung literal, ay meron pa pong malalim na kahulugan siyempre ang hiyas ng bayan na kasabihan na ito. Na ang taong talagang matining ang loob, ang taong talagang mahusay ang kalooban, ang tao na talagang magiting ang kanya pong pagkatao, habang siya po ay hinahamon ng mga nakapaligiran, habang siya po ay pinipilit na ikulong, ay lalo naman siyang nagpipilit na makalaya. Habang siya'y minamaliit, ay lalo naman niyang pinapatunayan ang kanyang kadakilaan. At habang siya po ay pinahihirapan sa kanya pong pagtatangkang makamit ang kanyang minimithi, ay lalo naman po siyang nagsusumigsa at lalo naman siyang nagsisikap na malampasan ang mga hadlang na ibinibigay sa kanya. Yan po ang tunay na kabayanihan. Hindi madaling matakot, hindi madaling umatras, hindi ningas kugon, hindi madaling panghinaan ng loob, at hindi madaling alisan ng damdaming marubdob upang maituloy ang mga dakilang adhikain. Yan po ang isang tunay na kabayanihan. Hindi madaling pigilin ng mga kalungkutan, hindi madaling pigilin ng mga balakid o hirap. At yan po ang isang tunay na kabayanihan. Yung pong tayo ay magkaroon ng isip na kapag naidalangin na natin at nadesisyon na natin gawin na isang bagay, hindi tayo madaling hadlangan. Habang nagkakaroon ng hadlang, lalong tumitibay ang ating determinasyon na ito'y malampasan. Habang tayo nasusugatan, lalo tayong tumatapang. Yan po ang isang magandang kaugalian ng ating bayan na dapat nating alalahanin. Hindi po yung ningas kugon na sabi ng mga banyaga tungkol sa atin, kundi yung kasabihang ito, ang bayaning masugatan, nag-iibayo ang tapang.
Mga gawa niyo sa aming buhay, tuwina'y naaalala. Kayo'y laging tapat na tunay, puno ng pagpapala. Salamat sala'y pinatawad, nilinis niyo, Diyos. Pakinggan niyo't aming ilalahad, awit sa inyo, Jesus. O kay sarap mabuhay, sa piling niyo, Jesus. Bawat landas may kulay, kasiyahay lubos, ang tanging ninanais ay magpuri sa inyo, lalo lang tumatamis sa piling niyo, Jesus. O kay sarap mabuhay, sa piling niyo, Jesus. Bawat landas may kulay, kasiyahay lubos, ang tanging ninanais ay magpuri sa inyo, lalo lang tumatamis sa piling niyo, Jesus. Bawat hakbang ay mayroong awit, bawat pintig ng puso, mga himig na makalangit, sa damdamin bugso. Lumipas man ang aking buhay, awit di matapos, sa langit man sana'y iaalay. Pakinggan niyo, Jesus. O kay sarap mabuhay sa piling niyo, Jesus. Bawat landas may kulay, kasiyahay lubos, ang tanging ninanais ay magpuri sa inyo, lalo lang tumatamis sa piling niyo, Jesus. Lalo lang tumatamis sa piling niyo,
Nanganguhay ko nooy laging nangangamba. Ang pagluhay di ko kaya at walang patutunguhan. O Jesus, nang ikaw nga ang makilala ko, ang lahat iyong pinanatag, ang lahat inayos mo. Kapayapaan na nagmumula sa'yo, naranasan ko dito sa buhay ko. Kapayapaan noon pa may hinihintay, aking Panginoon sa aking buhay. Sakit naman ng unos, kung ang takot ay ganap, sa pagtawag kay Jesus, papayapa ang lahat. Kapayapaan na nagmumula sa'yo, naranasan ko dito sa buhay ko. Kapayapaan na aking hinihintay, aking Panginoon sa aking buhay, sa aking magpakailan pa man, magpawalang hanggan, pag-ibig niyo sa akin, di nababago ng hangin, kahit saan pa man, kahit na sino man, kayo'y sa aming piling, di man maabot ng damdamin. Ang pag-ibig niyo'y wagas, hindi pag-ibig niyo'y sapat, sa akin ay tapat, kahit na di ako karapat-dapat. Magpakailan pa man, magpawalang hanggan, pag-ibig niyo sa akin di nababago ng hangin, kahit saan pa man, kahit na sino man, kayo'y sa aming piling, di man maabot ng damdamin. Ang pag-ibig niyo'y wagas, hindi magwawakas, ako ay niligtas. Ang pag-ibig niyo'y sapat, sa akin ay tapat, kahit na di ako karapat-dapat. Tanging sa'yo aasa, lalapit ang magpupuno ng kulang sa lahat ng
ito sa buhay ko. Sakali man itong aking pamatok, ubod ng bigat. Sa tulong mo, Jesus, nakakaya ang lahat. Kung sakaling ang ligaya'y di pa natagpuan, kung sakaling ang ginhawa'y di pa nakakamtan, sa piling mo, Jesus, ako ay lagi nang nakatanaw. Sa langit mong laan, di na mamamanglaw. Pagtitiis ang kailangan kong mabatid. Kaya't ikaw, Panginoon, ang aking tutularan. Pagtitiis ang kailangan kong mabatid. Ang buhay ko ay lalago kung mayroong pagtitiis. Kung sakaling ang ligaya'y di pa natagpuan, kung sakaling ang ginhawa'y di pa nakakamtan, sa piling mo, Jesus, ako ay lagi nang nakatanaw. Sa langit mong laan, di na mamamanglaw. Pagtitiis ang kailangan kong mabatid. Kaya't ikaw, Panginoon, ang aking tutularan. Pagtitiis ang kailangan kong mabatid. Espiritu ay lalago kung mayroong pagtitiis. Ikaw ang aming nakikita sa kanilang mukha, kaya ang mabuting balita binabahagi sa mga dukha. Ngunit paano nilang masisilayan ang habag at pag-ibig mo, kung hindi mapatutunayan sa aming patotoon? Kaya kung paano mo kami kinalingan, kung paano mo kami minahal, sa aming buhay nawa ay magbunga ng pagtitiyaga at pagmamahal. maglingkod at magsilbi. Ang aming pananampalataya patuloy mong palaguin, at sa iyong dakilang biyaya di ka namin bibiguin. Kaya kung paano mo kami kinalingan, kung paano mo kami pinahal, sa aming buhay nawa ay magbunga ng pagtitiyaga at pagpapagal sa aming kilos, salita at damdamin. Maranasan nilang totoo ang kabutihang natutunan namin na nagmumula sa'yo. Ang kabutihang natutunan namin na nagmumula sa'yo.
Oras na po para pansamantalang magpaalam ang programang Day by Day. Tayo po'y magsama-sama tuwing ika-6 hanggang ika-7 ng umaga, araw-araw. Magandang umaga po at mabuhay ang Panginoong Hesus!